Hey guys, it's Miss Ruane. Today we're going to be going over the physical geography of Europe. Yes, that's right. I wish I was in the classroom right now going over this with all of you together, but as circumstances have it, we will be doing a video instead. I'll be providing a blank sheet of the physical geography of Europe, and you can go ahead and color along with me with this map, and we will go over all the essentials of the physical geography of Europe. Once again, don't forget, you need to have your pencils and your pens, preferably your colored pencils first. You need your red one, your light blue one for oceans, your green ones for your plains and your steppes, brown ones for the mountainous areas, and of course, 2 or 3 darker pens where you can write in the areas. Now let's get started. First of all, in terms of shape, Europe is a collection of connected peninsulas and nearby islands. It's kind of called the Peninsula of Peninsulas. The 2 largest peninsulas are mainland Europe and Scandinavia to the north, divided from each other by the Baltic Sea. And there are 3 smaller peninsulas, Iberia, Italy, and the Balkans, and these emerge from the southern margin of the mainland. So let's start with that. Let's start with our waters first, actually. Let's get out our blue, dark blue pen or dark blue pencil. And the first thing we're going to label is our Norwegian Sea. Norwegian Sea is located up here in this area. This is a marginal sea in the Atlantic Ocean, and it is a division of the ocean. Now, over here, we all know what this area is. This is the North Atlantic. Oops, you know how I leave out letters sometimes. And this is about 600 miles long and about 360 miles wide. This is the North Atlantic Ocean. Okay, we have another sea over here, which of course divides Northern Europe from the Midland part of Europe. And this is called, this area here is called the Baltic Sea. B-A-L-T-I-C. And this sea is this has a salinity or much lower than ocean water, and it has a brackish inland sea area here. It is the largest brackish body of water in the world. Over here we have this little narrow passage waterway called the English Channel. We're going to go ahead and write that in here. Now with the English Channel, there is a tunnel that connects England to France. They call it a channel. In other words, taken from the word channel and the word tunnel. It is about a 35-minute drive from the southern coast of England over to the northern coast of France, where the 2 connects. It is once again called a channel, and boy does it save driving time. All right, also we have what is called the Bay of Biscay. That's down here in this area. Let's write it in. Bay of Biscay. This is a fairly shallow waterway area because of the continental shelf, which extends into its waters, the continental shelf over on this side. A lot of harsh storms occur in this area of the Bay of Biscay. Now we've got another very small waterway, or another channel, but they call it something else, and it's down here between Spain and Africa. This is called the Strait of Gibraltar. S-T-R-A-I of Gibraltar. Right in through here. This is a choke point for ships that were navigating and in and out historically and currently. The Navy coming through also reduces its power, while defenders have more firepower on this side when they were defending this area. as opposed to the ships that were coming in through the straits. This is called again the Strait of Gibraltar. Another sea which we all should know about, and it's almost completely surrounded by this land, and it begins with an M. What's it called, folks? That's right, the Mediterranean Sea. And there it is all along here. Also, we have what is called the Adriatic Sea. That is this waterway right here between Italy and Greece. Let's write that in. It's called Adriatic. A-D-R-A-T-I-C-C. The Adriatic, and that's between Greece and Italy. Now, what we're going to go ahead and, this also separates the Italian and the Balkan Peninsula. These two peninsulas here, the Balkan and the Italian. Now we have the Aegean Sea. Now this one is over here between Greece and Turkey. So let's put Aegean. That's spelled A-E-G-E-A-N. The Aegean Sea. And this is also called Marmara Sea, I believe, but it is in between Turkey and Greece, and this is where most of your all of your Greek isles are, all the islands of Greece, plus the Balkan Peninsula. So we have our Aegean Sea, the Adriatic Sea, Bay of Biscay, English Channel, Baltic Sea, Norwegian Sea, North Atlantic Ocean, Strait of Gibraltar, Bay of Biscay, and Mediterranean so far. We also have a big sea over here, and this is called the Black Sea. There was theories that this was an inhospitable sea because there was a savage tribes on the shores, and they changed it to becoming hospitable after, which means pretty much welcoming to people. And this is after the Greeks had taken over that area. The Ottoman Empire named it Bahrasiya, meaning, of course, Black Sea. Over here, we have another sea, and it's a very important sea too. Remember, this one was called, and we had it on our test, our review test. This is the Caspian. That's C-A-S-P-I-A-N. Caspian Sea. And this is a landlocked sea also, like the Black Sea. And this is between Asia and Europe. It's the largest inland body of water, even though it's cut off a little bit from our map. When you take a look at a larger map of the entire Eurasian continent, you will see how big that sea is. Also, let's see what else we've got. We have rivers. Now we're going to take our blue pen, our dark blue pen. Remember how we go along the river lines and we draw along it and then we put the river? That's what we're going to do again today. First river, one of the longest rivers. In fact, it's Europe's second longest river. It is called the Danube River. And let's put it right here. Here it is. Let's put a little bit of blue along this river, kind of letting us know that that is a river and not a border. And it is called what, folks? Danube. That's right. The Danube River was once a long-standing frontier of the Roman Empire, and it runs through 11 countries, Germany all the way out to the Black Sea. Goes through Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, and finally Ukraine. Also, we have another river here over in the, what is this peninsula called, guys? Iberian Peninsula in Spain. Now, we're not going to be titling all our countries and our cities. We're just doing the physical map. So what's this river here, guys? Remember, it was the Tagus River. And that's spelled T-A-G-U-S. Also they also pronounce it Tagus. Tagus River. This is the longest river in the Iberian Peninsula. This empties out into the Atlantic. We have another river, which is pretty famous because it flows through a very famous city. This one is called the Seine River, and it's this one right here. Let's draw along our line. This one here is the Seine River. Let's spell it Seine River. The Seine River is an important waterway within Paris Basin, and it's in the north of France, and this flows through the city of Paris. Also, we have another river over here next to the Rhine River, which is both in Germany. The first one is called the Elbe, E-L-B-E. Let's go across this river first with our pen. Now we're going to write the Elbe River. This flows from the Czech Republic through Western Bohemia, Germany, and into the North Sea. Then we have another river here, which flows through Germany, and you may hear that this river, a lot of times, it's called the Rhine River, which is R-H-I-N-E, river. Okay, so far so good. We have our rivers here in this inner part. We have another river down here in Italy. What's this little guy here called? Well, this is called the Po River. I'm going to put Po and underneath river. That's the Po River. Now, I don't think I have anything written down about the Po River, although I do know that it goes across to the top of the bottom of the Alps on the Italian side, and also on the other side of Austria. You can ski from one of these mountains and go down, and you can see that river. Also, we have another river here, and it is called the Loire River. This goes down the midway of France, and it is spelled L-O-I-R, river. Now, I think we have another river coming up here, guys. This one over here. Remember, this had, I remember now. The Po River, this flows eastward across northern Italy and out into the Adriatic Sea. That's what I forgot about Po River. The Tagus River, longest river on the Iberian Peninsula. Seine River, we did that. This one over here, remember this one? I don't know if you do, but remember it had a funny spelling and a funny pronunciation. It's called the Dnieper River. Yeah, you think it starts with an N, but it's actually starts with a D, and it's pronounced the Dnieper River. You don't pronounce the D. This is a major river here. Let's go ahead and outline it. This major river right here also flows into the Black Sea, and it goes from the Valdai Hills area near Smolensk, Russia, and goes through Belarus, Ukraine, and into the Black Sea. This area here. It's a very, very historical river as well. Okay. And then last but not least, we have the Volga River. That is this big river here. And I'm going to go all the way along the line and follow it with us. This is the longest river in Europe. This river drains most westerly area of Russia and is a source or provider for irrigation and hydroelectric power. But it also separates Europe from Asia. So I'm going to write that down because that's a very important part of the Volga River. How do we spell Volga River? V-O-L-G-A, river. And this river separates Europe from Asia. Oops, sorry. All right, so next one. We have our rivers, we have our seas. Let's take our blue pencil. Remember when we were doing this together on the overhead projector, we wanted to just kind of color our seas. Get our water all colored up so we know now we're seeing the difference where the water is and where the land is. Don't forget your Baltic Sea. In this area here. All right, don't forget your Adriatic Sea here, down here in between Italy and Greece, or the Baltic Peninsula. Now we have our Aegean Sea, which is the northern part. Down below it is the Mediterranean Sea. It's not going to be this doesn't have to be perfect, guys. It's just so you know what you're doing when you see separate of the landmass from the water. Don't forget these little islands right here. Don't color over them. And don't forget your Strait of Gibraltar, very important waterway, very ancient waterway, and our North Atlantic Ocean. What else did I miss? Oh yes, the Black Sea. Don't forget this big guy. All right. Did I miss anything else? Yes, the Caspian Sea, of course. All right. Now you guys have a different idea here. Now you know where your waterways are, and now you know the land masses. And speaking of land masses, remember when we were talking about our peninsulas? Well, Europe has pretty much is divided into 3 divisions. Let's get our dark pen, our dark black pen, or black pencil if you like. And we are going to find our 3 divisions of Europe after we've done our waterways. I think it's good to come in with this. We have our north. Actually, you know what, guys? I'm going to use my brown pencil. It's a lot easier. Let's use our brown pencil. Okay. So, my brown pencil just broke. So I'm going to go back to my black pen. And I'll sharpen my brown pencil later. But we've got to get these divisions recognized here. The Northwestern Highlands, that is Norway and Sweden. So I'm going to write it in large letters so that you can do the same thing. This is the Northwestern Highlands. This is part of Norway and Sweden, and even also extends into Scotland. This area here, this mountain range, is also called if England or the British Isles were still connected to Europe instead of this waterway area, these mountain range would still, the mountain range in Scotland would be considered part of these as well, or they call the Highlands in Scotland. Now we also have the Great European Plains. Remember our green, our dark green magic marker? We're going to label the Great European Plains, and that is this area here. I'm pretty much where I'm circling, but I'm going to just write it. Great European Plains. And then the third part is the Central Plateau and the Southern Mountains area here. That is our 3 divisions of Europe. And I'm going to put over probably where I have some better room, Central Plateau, or I'm just going to draw a big arrow. That way I have more room to write in later. Central Plateau. AU. Central Plateau and Southern Mountains. And we're going to abbreviate mountains from here on out to MTS. All right, so this area here is our Central Plateau. That says plateau, guys, and Southern Mountains. Now, moving on, we've done our rivers. The other thing we can start with is also a river that I missed earlier. So let's take our blue pen one more time. I missed a very important river here, and that is over here in the near the English Channel, starting from the opening mouth area and flows through a very famous city in England. What's it called, guys? London. And it is called what? The Thames. The Thames River. Sorry if I skip around, but it's been a while since I've done this map, so I can forget a couple things. So make sure you remind me if I forget something on Google Classroom, will you? All right, so this Thames River here, this is called the River Thames, and it is apparently the cleanest river that flows through any major city, as they say. All right, remember when I talked about the Loire, and I didn't have much to say about it earlier? Well, this flows through the Ruane Valley, and it's very, very famous for its wine. All right, moving on, ladies and gentlemen. We had the Northern European Plain, the Hungarian Plain, and Central Russian uplands, and our Eurasian division. Let's take, of course, our green pen again. I want to put the Northern European Plain, which is this area here, or the Great European Plains where we had written this area. This is also the Northern European Plain. All right, we also have another plain, which is over here in between the Dnieper River and the Volga, more towards the east, where it separates from Europe from Asia, is called the Central Russian Uplands. Okay, and then we have, remember the steppe. We had a steppe over here, and this was called the Eurasian steppe, S-T-E-P-P-E, 2 P's. And this extends from the mouth of the Danube River almost to the Pacific Ocean. This whole Eurasian steppe goes all the way over to this part of Europe and all the way over to the other side of China and out into the Pacific Ocean, the Eurasian steppe. Also, we have another peninsula here. This is our Iberian Peninsula. Remember, Europe is the peninsula of the peninsulas. And I believe the British Isles, will go ahead and label them right here. B-R-I-T-I-S-H, Isles. This is the British Isles up here. And this is the Iberian Peninsula. And this over here, folks, is what is that peninsula in Greece called again? Remember? That is the Balkan Peninsula. And we'll just put P-E-N for now. Hungarian Plain is another one here. It occupies the majority of Hungary. It's located in this area here. Hungary and the Hungarian Plain. Okay, so I think that is all for our green area. So let's take our green pen, or excuse me, our green pencil. If you got a light green pen, that's great. And we're going to color in our green areas now. Down here, Eurasian steppe, Central Russian uplands, our Northern European Plain, which extends over here, our Hungarian Plain, and don't forget the Northern European Plain extends all the way out over here to Western France. All right. What else did I miss? So, and it also goes all the way up to the northern area, east of the Baltic Sea, Poland, and towards the Dnieper River, eventually into Russia. All right, Northern European Plain, Hungarian Plain, Central Russian uplands, and our Eurasian separation, also the Eurasian steppe here, which goes across all the way to Western Europe, and keep going to the right, you'll end up on the Pacific Ocean in China. All right, we have our British Isles already identified. We have our Iberian Peninsula, which is what country, guys? That's Portugal and Spain. British Isles are what countries? United Kingdom, Ireland, and Scotland, or Scotland is part of the United Kingdom. And then we have the Balearic Islands, which is an archipelago of Spain. And then we have Corsica, which is off the coast of southern France. That is, let's take our black pen, guys, our black marking pen. We're going to label. Our British Isles we did in green, so don't worry. We did it there. We did our Iberian Peninsula. And now we have Corsica, which is an actual island. So let's put, it's right here, Corsica, Corsica. We have another island underneath, directly south of Corsica, located in what, guys? Mediterranean Sea. Corsica is north of Sardinia. So let's put it, this island right here, Sardinia. And this is the second largest island in the Mediterranean. Corsica is off the coast of southern France, and it's very mountainous. Also, you have another island over here. It looks like the ball that the boot shape of Italy is about to kick. This is the island of Sicily. Sicily. This is largest, both regions of Italy, but Sicily is also an autonomous country, and it governs itself. It is not governed by Italy. Alrighty. Now we have the Balkan Peninsula, which we did in green. This is our islands and mainland of Greece. Down here, I'm just going to there's so many different islands. There's over 1,000 islands in Greece, but we're going to label one important island, and that's called Crete. C-R-E-T. Right here, and that's this island right here. I'm going to take my brown pencil and sharpen it because I definitely need it, and it's necessary when I'm trying to do islands especially. So let me keep sharpening this pencil, make sure this is right here. All right, got my brown pencil back. Over here we have our island of Crete. And let's go ahead and color in our islands of Corsica, Sardinia, and Sicily. I know we're not, this is not a political map, and we are labeling islands, but as they would be countries, but this is very important part of the physical geography because these are main islands in the Mediterranean. Okay, let's move on here. Now let's go to our mountains, which I'm glad I sharpened my brown pencil. First of all, let's get going with our brown pencil and our black pen because we're going to be labeling our mountains and coloring them in. Let's start with the north. What are these mountains up here, guys? What are they called? Do you remember? Let's go ahead and color those in. These mountains that are part of the northwestern highlands of Europe are called what? These are the Scandinavian mountains. And I'm going to go ahead and write it sideways. S-C-A-N-D-I-N-A-V-I-A-N Mountains. You can just abbreviate MTS for mountains. Didn't look right. There we go. Scandinavian mountains on your north. Over here to the very far of the eastern area, these mountains here, remember? I forgot to say that the Scandinavian mountains, they're not very high, but they are very steep, and the west side drops into the North Sea, which is this area here, guys. Forgot to label it, but let me put it here. Our North Sea, remember our North Sea? Let's get my blue. These, I'm sorry, I forgot to put the North Sea right here for our oceans. Back to the Scandinavian mountains. They're not very high, but they're very steep, and the western part drops into the North Sea, and the Norwegian Sea as well, and that was what forms all the fjords of Norway. Remember what the word fjord was? That's a glacial ice area formed by the Ice Age. Okay. Now, what other mountains do we have over here? We were starting to color Miss Ruane when she got sidetracked here by North Sea. These are called the Ural Mountains. And they are spelled U-R-A-L mountains. These are part of the continental boundary. Let me get my pencil here out of the way. These are part of the continental boundary of Europe, and it divides Russia as well. Also, we have down here another mountain range, and let's take our brown pencil and color that in for a minute. What do you think these are called? Do you remember? These are called the Caucasus Mountains. And these are one of two ranges that separate Europe and Asia. Let's write it down here. These are our Caucasus, C-A-U-A-S-U-S mountains. All right. Now the Caucasus Mountains, it is, like I said, one of two ranges that separate Europe from Asia, along with the Volga River and the Ural Mountains as well. We have another one over here, though. Also begins with a C, this mountain range. Let's color it. Let's take our brown pen and our pencil and color around here this area. What is this mountain range? Does everybody remember? This was called the Carpathian Mountains, and that's spelled C-A-R-P-A-T-H-I-A-N mountains. And that's from the old Polish word meaning karpa, or rugged. The next set of mountains we are going to do also, just south of the Carpathians, are called the what mountains? Named after this peninsula. What was this peninsula called? The Balkan Peninsula. So we are going to call this the Balkan, B-A-L-K-A-N, mountains. Right there. B-A-L-K-A-N. And one of my favorite mountain ranges over here, you guys remember what this mountain range, which is in northern Italy, southern Germany, and western Austria. It begins with an A. Remember what they were called? That's right. They're called the Alps. A-L-P-S. You don't really have to write mountains. Just put Alps. A-L-P-S. And these were formed about 10 million years ago when the African tectonic plate below and the Eurasian tectonic plates both collided together. These were the creation of that, and they are called the Alps. Another creation of the Eurasian and African tectonic plates colliding together is this other little mountain range here too, part of that, and that is got a name too. It's called the Dinaric Alps, and that's spelled D-I-N-A-R-I-C. That's a C. And these are the Dinaric Alps. Can everybody see that? Okay, good. And we have more mountain ranges to go. Down here, we have another mountain range. Okay. Just checking to see, make sure I have my information right here and I know what I'm talking about. All right. We have this mountain range here, which goes along the country of Italy. And it looks like a boot, remember? These are the Alpines. They are 750 miles long, and they go along the length of Italy. The Italian central and southern area of Italy, and they are called the Alpines. Little longer word, but they begin with the letter A again, and it's spelled A-L-P. Oh, I can't write it there. Where did I go? Let's see if I can write some word. I better not put it there. It's just not enough room, is there? So let me go ahead and put it in another area. I'm going to write it along here. A-L-P-E-N-N-I-N-E-S. The Alpines. Just call them the Alpines. You don't need to say Alpines Mountains. A-L-P-E-N-N-I-N-E-S. And we also have another mountain range over here. This basically borders Spain and France. And these are called what? Begins with a P. This is a natural border between Spain and France, and they're called the Pyrenees Mountains. Thank you. And that's spelled P-Y-R-E-N-E-E-S. The Pyrenees Mountains. Okay, so we have our mountain ranges all labeled. There's a little one, there's a smaller one in Scotland, but it's not as prominent as what we're going over for the overall physical geography of Europe and its mountains that are involved. Now, there are certain mountains that we have that we'd like to label. Some higher level mountains that we're going to bring out to your attention. One of them is called the Matterhorn. The Matterhorn is in the Alpine area. I think I believe it's this mountain right here, but we're just going to label that anyway. Somewhere around that vicinity. Relative location, we would say. And we'll just call this the Matterhorn. M-A-T-T-E-R-H-O-R-N. Oh, and I remembered now. This is the Balearic Islands. Forgot to label that one. I'm just going to label it real quick. B-A-L-E-A-R-I-C. There. And that's the Matterhorn. That's a very high, one of the highest mountains. And this was a mountain. You can see one side of the mountain involves the tectonic plate of Africa, and the other side of the mountain is the part of the tectonic plate of Europe. And I wish I had a picture of it to show you. Another mountain down here in the Balkans, in the Greece area. I'm not sure. I think it's this one. I'm not real sure. Anyway, I'm just going to pick that one. This is called Mount Olympus. M-T-L-O-Y-M-P-U-S. And this is part of the Balkans. That is the highest mountain in Greece. It's located on the Olympus range on the border between Thessaly and Macedonia. All right. And I have another high peak here too. Take out your red, or keep your red colored pencil in your hand. Let's label another one here. It's a mountain. I'm going to pick this one right here, pretty much in the vicinity. This one is called Mount Elbrus. How do you spell that? M-T-E-L-B-R-U-S. This is part of the Caucasus Mountains. It's about 18,510 feet. This is the highest mountain in Europe. And it is a dormant volcano located in the Caucasus Mountains in southern Russia. Now, remember this area here of Spain is the Meseta. It's a central, Meseta means plateau in Spanish, and there's high plains of central Spain, and this slopes gently to the west and through a series of rivers that form some of the border that also goes along with Portugal. Of course, you can't see Portugal here. It's not a political map, remember. It's a physical map. The southern Meseta is further divided by twin mountain ranges, the Sierra Morena and the Cordillera Cantabrica, is what they call the Cordillera Cantabrica. And we don't have it labeled here, but I am going to have you guys take your green dart pen, and we're going to have southern Meseta in this area here. Remember, Meseta means plateau in Spanish, so this is the southern plateau. Meseta. Area for high plains of central Spain, or the inner plateau of Spain, is this area here, but I'm not going to write that in. It's not enough room. Okay. Let's see if Miss Ruane has everything. Take a look at this map. Don't forget down here, what is this area of land down here, guys? This huge land jutting into the Mediterranean Sea. It's a continent, begins with an A. That's right, it's called Africa. Just so you guys know where we're at here. Now, also there's an island that I almost neglected, but it's right here, guys. Remember what the name of it was? That's right. This is Iceland. I-C-E-L-A-N-D. I'm looking around in my finished map and making sure that I've covered everything I possibly can here. But I think that is pretty much it. If I have left anything out, please let me know. But once again, as we kind of review, Europe is divided into 3 divisions pretty much. Our northwestern highlands, our Great Plains, and our southern plateau. What are our mountains? Ural, Caucasus, Balkan, Dinaric, Alps, Alpines, and that's A-L-P-E-N-N-I-N-E-S, in case you're asking. Our Pyrenees Mountains and our Scandinavian mountains. Rivers are our Volga, Dnieper, Elbe, Rhine, Danube, the Seine River, the Loire River, and the Tagus River. And don't forget the little Po River right here in the northern part of Italy. And don't forget our very important seas: Caspian, Black, Aegean, Adriatic, North, I'm going to make that look a little better, the North Sea, and of course our bigger oceans, which is the Norwegian Sea, the North Atlantic Ocean, and the Mediterranean Sea, as well as the Adriatic Sea. So pretty much that's it. In terms of the shape, Europe is a connected bunch of peninsulas and nearby islands. And of course the 2 largest peninsulas are mainland Europe and Scandinavia to the north, divided from each other by the Baltic Sea. 3 smaller peninsulas, the Iberian, the Italian, and the Balkan. And these emerge from the southern margin of the mainland. I hope that I've covered everything as far as physical geography of Europe is concerned. But like I said, guys, if Miss Ruane has left anything out, please let me know on the instructions area when you do your project. And I cannot wait to see you guys, what you guys give to me, and see what your physical maps look like. I miss you guys, and I hope to see you guys soon. Come visit me if you can. If you make your way back to HH Pool. This is Miss Ruane saying over and out.